Hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. I am Jason, your host, and we're out on my backup mobility scooter, my Pride Revo. The reason is this can get places that my Quingo can't, and so there's a new Lidl store opened up and I want to go and check it out and see how the aisles are and everything, and the counters, checkout counters, before I decide to come in my big vehicle. So it's a slower vehicle, the Pride Revo 2. It's still one of those powerful pavement ones, but it's not legal for going on the road except for crossing roads. So what do we want to talk about today? Able-bodied people have no freaking idea. They absolutely don't have any idea what it's like to be disabled. And while every single disabled person is different, every single disabled person is unique and has different needs and that, we all face challenges every single day. And I mean every single day. Simple things like going to the bathroom, being able to leave our houses. But today I want to talk about something that is something that most people don't even have to think about. And that is grocery deliveries. I'm lucky. I can leave the house on my mobility scooter, I can go to the shop, but most of my shopping actually still comes from online. And this isn't a luxury, this is a necessity. When I order from the shops, I have lots of risks involved. What if they don't have it in stock? That's the first one. Now, I usually budget a shop once every 2 weeks I do a big shop. And if they haven't got anything in stock, I can't just go out and get new stuff because, first of all, I don't have the money. If I've budgeted £40 or £50 for food, and that includes delivery, then most of these places like Tesco and Morrison's and all those have a minimum amount that you can order. Otherwise you pay more for delivery. You pay a surcharge for a small order. So let's say I do a proper shop and I've got everything in my list and everything's fine, and I am doing it and 2 or 3 of the items aren't in stock. Well, I will either have to go without, or I will have to try to leave the house because I can't do another big shop. So that's the first issue. When I do an online shop, it's a necessity. I can't get in the car and go. I can leave the house in my mobility scooter, but that is literally the only way I leave the house. I can't just walk anywhere, and if the item is too big to be carried on my Quingo, or like if it's dog food or something like that, a 12 kilogram bag or something like that, I can't fit that on the Quingo or on this. So I end up spending more for less. Which, as you know, being disabled, we are very much given pittance. Even if you're on PIP, even if you're on everything, compared to what it takes to survive as a disabled person. This is why a lot of disabled people actually, and I'm going to say, skirt the law. Not in the way of fraudulent behaviour, but they may have to find other means to make food. And you know what's going to happen when they fuck up all the PIP and drop 87% of us out of PIP and its related disability? You are going to get a fucking crime wave. Every disabled person that has a way of leaving their house in any way, shape or form will have to commit crimes to survive. That isn't something that we want to talk about, but it's there. A lot of us won't be able to, and those are the ones that will die or end up in a long stay unit at the hospital because, well, basically they'll judge us as not being able to look after ourselves, and that's what will end up. So it's all a bad thing. But going back to the idea of online shopping and that. And I was talking to my friends in Disability Rebellion, and I tell you what, it's wonderful to speak to people from that place, because I don't have to explain myself in the same way I do with an able-bodied person. As I've said, all disabled people are unique, but we all know how it feels. We all know what we have to face, and it sucks. And so we actually can have a shared sort of misery and understanding that we know what it's like to face these challenges, even though our challenges are unique. They're all challenges that come from being disabled. I'll go down this way, because this vehicle isn't very good at big hills and that. It's a nice little setup, but it's not. I wouldn't try to actually do certain things on it. So I'm going to take the circuitous route around. And so, even though there's lots of different opinions, we have a really good set of people. And there will be misunderstanding, as there has been misunderstanding, but that's why you talk, so you can understand each other better, so that you can work together. And everybody brings a different opinion in these situations. Let's just cross over here. Bring something new to this conversation, and that's wonderful. I'm making a lot of new friends, and the layers of support that you get when you're involved with a group of disabled people is wonderful. I have friends who are not disabled. I have friends, yes, and they are awesome, but they are the rarity, because most able-bodied people just do not have the context. For some it's just a complete lack of understanding of what they're facing, what we face. And so, delivery drivers. Let's go down here. Delivery drivers can be absolutely amazing, wonderful. I remember I've had some wonderful delivery drivers who go out of their way helping me to bring stuff in the house and that. Even though I hate having people come to my house and go in my house. Being autistic, I don't like strangers. But over the time, you meet a few delivery drivers who actually are really nice, and they will go the extra mile. They understand that the reason that you order this food is because you don't have a choice. You are doing it for necessity, and they are your lifeline. They are really helping you. And they understand that. These are the wonderful ones. But then you get, and I'm going to say, son of a bitches, assholes, numpties, fuckwads, sorry algorithm, fuckwads, who bitch at you, whine at you, do the passive-aggressive bullshit and all the rest of it, as if you're asking too much of them when you ask them to bring the item inside, when you ask them to do their job. Now, I understand they're under a clock, that they've got to do a certain amount of deliveries. I understand that. But I'm sorry, that's not our fault. If we are disabled, if we are having problems, if we have ordered from your store or for a delivery and we need it there and we need you to bring it into the house, we're not asking that because we want to just sit there and laugh. We're not asking that because it's fun to make you go the extra mile. We're asking that because we physically cannot do it ourselves. Do you think we like it? Do you think we like giving up that bit of independence? Because let me tell you, most disabled people don't have a lot of independence. And any bit of independence that we still have, we fucking hold on to with claws, with bloodied nails, with fucking fists clenched, because those little bits of independence really fucking matter. And that's something that people who aren't disabled don't understand. You don't have to put thought into leaving the house. You don't have to put thought into getting up or going to the bathroom. You don't have to put thought. thoughts on how to wipe your fucking arse. You just do it. It's not your fault that you don't understand it because you have no context. But for us, every little tiny fucking thing, I saw it in my wife's eyes when my wife's illness got worse and worse, that every single time that she had to give up a little more, that the illness got worse, that the damage became more, it really hurt her. It's one of the things that drives me so fucking pissed off when people try to say that people who are disabled or on PIP and that, they're just having a laugh, they're just loungers and that. Do you think I like having to go round on a mobility scooter? Do you think I enjoy the fact that the only way I can leave the house is on this device? That I am, without this I wouldn't be able to go out of the house? Do you think in any way that I don't miss the idea of just getting up, going through my front door and going for a walk? You would have to be crazy to think that. Most disabled people I know, in fact all the disabled people I know, if they could be cured of their illnesses, if they could have a new chance at being able to have can be completely able-bodied and go out and live and do all the things you do, they would give up they'd happily go to work, happily fucking take that on, happily work 40, 50, 60 fucking hours a week just to have that chance. Because you do not understand what it's like to lose that independence, to lose that ability to lose your health and to be trapped. It's not a fun thing. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm having a go at everyone. It's frustrating trying to get able-bodied people to understand. I still believe that in school they should have a course where when you're in your teenagers years that you should have to spend a certain amount of time volunteering for a disabled charity, where you should have to spend our time being pushed around your local town by another person and be totally and completely at their mercy as they push you around, and you see all the problems with the pavements and all the problems with the roads and that affect disabled people. And then you should have to actually push a wheelchair around and see what it's like to trying to navigate parked cars on corners and that, and bushes that have overgrown, and people who park their cars on fucking pavement, and try to deal with all that. It might give some kind of understanding of what it's like to be in the position that we're in. Disabled people never want more. They don't want to be classed as special than you. They just want to be able to do everything you can do, or as near as possible. Is that too much to ask? And that's why it's so frustrating, because all these cuts that they're doing to disabled people, we've spent years and years and years adapting ourselves, using this little bit of money that they give us, making sure we can fucking survive, and then they want to take it all away from us. We have people now who have stopped putting their blue badges on their cars because they're getting harassed. My wife had a blue badge. She didn't have a car, but she put it on our friend's car so our friend could take us and could use the disabled parkings in front of our house. So that if Paula had to go to the hospital or anything, they could go out with her. No. My wife would have hated being on disability, hated having to be classed as disabled. Here we go. Lidl is up there. And this is a brand new store. So let's see what their disability features are like. A lot of noise, unfortunately, by the cars here, unfortunately. Right, so what I'm going to do once I get round this corner is I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to start a new one as I go inside and have a look around. But yeah, this is pretty much brand new, I believe. I definitely haven't seen it before, unless I've been totally blind when I've come up this road. Monday to Saturday, 8 to 10 p.m. Sunday, 10 to 4 p.m. That's good. And there won't be many people around here because it's Tuesday. People are back at work. It's a good time. So let's go around here. I like the pavement. So let's stop here. Let's just go around here and then set things up. Right, so lots of disabled parking over there. Right, so let me stop this video. I'll start a new one.